Welcome back, everyone! This is Jarenitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 20, and today we will be dealing with food. Because food. Anyway, in between episodes, I have flattened this area out just a little bit, and I've prepared a basic garden area. I went ahead and put a normal source block of water here, and the source block of water will keep moist any tilled surfaces, which is any farmland, which is what you right-click with the hoe. It creates farmland. If you're familiar with vanilla, some people aren't. I have to say these things. Anyway, so you right-click with the hoe, it becomes farmland. Any farmland within 4 blocks in any direction of the source block of water will be maintained in a will be maintained moist. As you can see, it's starting to change over here. So 4 blocks that direction will remain moist, 4 blocks this direction, and the square of that. So if I were to do this here and here, these would not actually change. See, it changed back pretty quickly. This one will change back again as well because it's not going to be maintained farmland. So anyway, now that I've got this basic area set up, I can go ahead and plant crops. But I don't want to plant crops. I want the game to plant crops for me. So we're going to go ahead and get started working on a tech mod. And this tech mod is called Mine Factory Reloaded. Okay, in Mine Factory Reloaded, we have what is called a planter. Okay, a planter is going to plant seeds, and well, actually, a planter is going to plant pretty much anything I want planted for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a planter. We're going to need 2 pistons, we're going to need 2 copper gears, a redstone reception coil, a machine frame, some plastic sheets, and a flower pot. Should not be a big deal. Let's take a step inside. Alright, so for the conductance coil, we're going to need a piece of gold and some redstone. And we should be able to go ahead and make the reception coil. Okay, well, that's step 1. No big deal. We should have some extra pistons left over. I always like to keep extra pistons around. Down to 7, we'll have to keep track of that and get some more as necessary. Anything else in here that I need? 2 pistons, flower pot, machine frame. Have I made any? I do have a machine frame basic. Awesome. Although I probably am going to need, actually I know I'm going to need another one of those, but we'll make that here in just a minute. Let's see, we're going to also need some gears and some plastic and a flower pot. Well, the flower pot's going to be simple. We accidentally made some bricks the other day, so we can go ahead and use these bricks to make our flower pot. And to make the flower pot, you just put the bricks in the same formation as you would a bucket. Alright, and that takes care of that. That was pretty simple too. The gears are going to also be very simple. Were they copper? Copper gears, yes. So we're just going to need 8 pieces of copper and 2 pieces of iron. And now we should be able to go ahead and make... Oops, that's not... No. Nah. No. This version. Thank you. And there we go. We now have 2 copper gears. So now the only thing we're missing is the actual plastic sheets. Now the plastic sheets come from Mine Factory Reloaded, and the plastic sheets are 4 pieces of raw plastic. Raw plastic comes from burning rubber. And no, not on a car. Alright, so rubber is something that we don't have as of yet, so we need to see about the possible ways to get rubber. In case people are wondering why it says get witched on my screen right there, I was playing with my witch statue. When you right click on the witch statue, it gives you the get witched command, and it gives you a little bit of blindness for a short period of time. So yeah, it's fun. No, Mr. Creeper, we're not dealing with you. Yeah. Well, I guess I am dealing with him, but I'm not. Whatever. Alright, so anyway, there's a couple ways that you can get rubber. Well, actually, there's actually 2 ways you can get rubber. There are rubber trees from Mine Factory Reloaded, which I have gone out and searched for quite a long time to find some, and we have some of those. And there's also trees from, rubber trees from Industrial Craft. I can never remember how to form one of these. I don't know. Let's see, there it is. How about that? How about not? I can never remember the tree taps recipe. Alright, so we can make the tree tap, and we can go ahead and get our axe out, and I will show you the two possible ways to get rubber. I actually prefer to use the Mine Factory Reloaded section, at least in the early game. There are ways to automate both of these, but in this case, we're going to go over here. What you're looking for are these. They're rubber trees from Mine Factory Reloaded. You can actually look at them and see just from the way that the trunk is, that they're the way the texture of the trunk will show you. For each log that you chop down, you get a piece of rubber. So you got raw rubber and rubber wood. Okay, so we can chop these down and get ourselves not only some wood, but also some rubber. So that is the first way to get rubber. The second way to get rubber, and apparently in this pack the rubber trees from Mine Factory Reloaded are a little bit harder to find. Like I said, I spent quite a while looking for them so I could show you guys this. But the rubber trees here from Industrial Craft are a lot easier to find. Okay? When you see these rubber trees from Mine Factory Reloaded, you'll notice that they have these weird looking little pieces on them. Okay? And if you right click on them with a tree tap, you get rubber. Well, it's not rubber, it's sticky resin. Sticky resin is essentially the same thing as rubber. I'll get to that in just a second. Now, as you can see, there's still a little deformed spot in the actual wood right here. You can right-click it again, and you might get some more resin, or you might destroy the spot. Okay, as you can see, I destroyed the spot. Okay, when you destroy that little deposit of resin, it will not come back. So this tree with no more resin on it, oh, nope, there it is. Right click that, and we get some of that. Now, if we leave this alone, that will actually come back, and we'll be able to go ahead and harvest it again later. So keep that in mind. Ooh, saplings. Keep that in mind so that when you try to get lots of this stuff later, just tap it once, grab the stuff you get, and then you can come back later and tap it again. Alright, so now that we've covered that as the ways to get the basics of rubber, we can take the raw rubber, and we can just cook the raw rubber. And the raw rubber will then be cooked into rubber bars. Okay? Well, those are popping through faster, but here we have the rubber bars. Okay? The sticky resin can also be cooked, and it will become rubber. In this case, the little black rubber balls. In this case. Okay? So either one of these can then be recooked, and when it is recooked, it will come out as raw plastic, as you saw just then. And the raw plastic is what we need to be able to continue further. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the rest of these cook up because I don't have any need for the actual rubber itself at this point, but I do have need for the plastic. So we're going to go ahead and make those up. Toss the wood in here, and we should be good to go. Alright, now that we have some raw plastic, we can go ahead and take this out, and when we put it in a square pattern like this, we get plastic sheets. And now that we have the plastic sheets, we can go ahead and make our planter. Alright, awesome. Now, to go along with the planter, we're going to go ahead and make a harvester. Okay, with the planter, it'll plant stuff. The harvester will harvest automatically the things that are planted. So this is going to require another machine frame. Told you we'd need another one. And we're going to need a gold gear, another redstone reception coil, some more plastic sheets, and some shears, an Invar axe. And have we covered Invar yet? I don't think we have. I don't think I have any Invar. Invar. I don't think I have. Interesting. Alright, well in any case, Invar is going to be a combination of iron and ferrous ingots, both of which we should have. Iron, obviously we have, and yes, we have plenty of ferrous as well. So I'm going to go ahead, toss these in the alloy smelter and let them cook up. And while they're cooking up, I'm going to go ahead and get the other components together, and we'll be back in just a second when we're ready to get this thing rolling. And now we have all that together, and we have ourselves a harvester. Alright, the planter and the harvester work very well together. One plants, the other one harvests. It's a good thing. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're now going to put these in place. Now, we're not going to have everything ready to use these as of yet, but hopefully I'll be able to get it all put together before we close the episode. Alright, so the planter, let's go ahead over here and I'll show you how this is going to work. It's getting to be nighttime again. It looks like it's getting to be nighttime again. All right, so we're going to put the planter here. The planter needs to be 1 block below the surface that you want it to plant on. Okay, and in here you have the option of what to plant in what grids. And if you look, you can see that the top left corner here is the red corner, and it corresponds with this, with red, yellow, and green being there, red, yellow, and green being there. So it shows you the grid in which it's going to plant. All right, now we're going to go ahead and place the harvester here on this edge, and that's going to not have any GUI that shows you where it's going to go. But once we go in here and sleep through the night, I will talk to you about upgrades and how to find out exactly how this thing is going to work and the range that it's going to work in. Okay, first off, we want to know how it's going to, where it's going to work. Okay, so what we're going to need is a precision sledgehammer from Mine Factory Reloaded. Okay, the precision sledgehammer is, big surprise, 3 pieces of plastic sheets and 2 sticks. We should have that no problem. I believe I have enough extra plastic sheets. Yeah, plenty of extra. Now, the way that the precision sledgehammer works, it's kind of like the wrench for Mine Factory Reloaded. Anytime you're holding the precision sledgehammer, it will show you the areas that are being used by each machine. Okay, so this machine, the harvester, by default will do a 3x3 area. In other words, these 9 blocks, and you can see that is shown here in the grid that it has. The planter is going to do the same 3x3 area by itself, and therefore we have these 9 blocks, and you can see the 2 of them there together. Now, that's obviously not going to be big enough, so we need to make it so it will be bigger. Oh, cool, they made it so the precision sledgehammer makes it so the facades disappear. That's new. Alright, so anyway, we want that to be bigger than that, obviously, so what we're going to want to get are some upgrades. Okay? Now, in the upgrade section, what we're looking for are these right here. Okay, there are upgrades from a radius increase of 1 all the way to a radius increase of 11. That's a huge, huge area. What we're going to go with is a radius increase of 3 that should get us to the area that we want. So to make these, we're going to need some raw plastic, some iron, some redstone, and some gold nuggets. Also, everything that we have just handy right here. We're actually only going to need, I think it was just 2 pieces, no, 4 pieces of redstone. Alright, we're going to need some raw plastic. I hope yes, good. I didn't convert it all into it. We're going to need some iron, because in this case we're using iron. If we were to use something else, obviously it would be bronze or silver or emeralds and so on. The basic recipe is the same, it's just what goes along the top that changes. So we're going to need 6 pieces of iron to go along with this. And we're going to need, oops, that was in that chest too, a couple of gold nuggets. Alright, so now we should be able to go ahead and make 2 of the iron upgrades. Alright, so now we'll go out here and I'll show you how these apply. We'll do it on this one first because it'll be the easiest to see. When we upgrade this by putting the iron upgrade in, now when we look at it with Precision Sledgehammer, you can see that it now has increased all the way over to here. Okay, and it still shows this in the center. Now, when we actually put this one in here, it will then show that the range of these are both the same. So you can't actually see very well that they're both in there, but if we were to go ahead and remove this one, oh wait, well, I accidentally rotated that. Okay, so anyway, so if you rotate this away, you can see that that one's still there and now this one's facing over there, but in this case, they are both now facing the same area and are both affecting the same space. All right, so now that we have that going, the only problem we have is that we don't have any power running these machines. Okay, so what we're going to do, now I could just go ahead and run power over from my current power supply, but where's the fun in that? We're going to do something new. Okay, we're going to make a new source of power because I want to try new sources of power. I mean, what's the point of having 20,000 ways to make power if you don't try more than one, right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and make some power with a resource that we are already making. We are going to make a zombie generator, okay? A zombie generator is from Ender.io as well. The zombie generator uses the nutrient distillate that we're already making, or nutrient distillation, whichever. Anyway, it's going to use those, that liquid, to generate power. So we're going to need 5 pieces of fused quartz, 3 electrical steel, and a zombie electrode. The zombie electrode is made in the slice and splice, and we're going to need some energetic alloy, a zombie head, some silicon, and a basic capacitor. No big deal. Alright, let's see. I know I don't have any silicon, right? Nope. Alright, well, that's okay. Let's see. We're going to need 2 energetic alloy. We're going to need 1 zombie head. We're going to need some silicon, which we don't have, but we can get no problem. This is the quickest and easiest way to get large amounts of silicon. No, 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 stop. It's supposed to go in here. Anyway, so there we go. Got some silicon. And what else did I need? A basic capacitor, which I should have. Capacitors, capacitors, capacitors. How do I keep using those up? Well, I mean, I know how I keep using them up, but why do I keep using them up? Let's see. We're going to need copper, gold nuggets, and redstone. I'm tired of not having any of these. We're just going to make a bunch. I'll use them up eventually, I promise. There we go. Toss off the excess stuff. And now we should be able to go ahead and put these in here. Now, as you remember when we did this last time, this will automatically pull in the things that it needs to make what it needs to make. And automatically go ahead and make it. Now, it doesn't actually need to pull in the extras. We can take the extras out of here, but there we go. 1 zombie electrode. Alright, so now let's go ahead and put this stuff away over here. And I can actually just go ahead and put the raw plastic in here too. I consider that to be a machine part. And now we should be able to go ahead, grab some. Good, we have plenty of fused quartz. Do we have any electrical steel? Yes, we do. Alright, cool. So now we can put this together like this, I think it was. Yes, we now have a zombie generator. Okay, the zombie generator is going to generate power using nutrient distillation to do so. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put... we're going to put the generator right there. Alright, it is currently set up to make 0 RF and nothing works. Well, it's because we didn't get any of the nutrient distillation. Alright, so our nutrient distillation is in the nether. We're going to go grab some. There's actually, I'm going to do 2 different things. We're going to grab a drum for us to get a large amount of it, but we're not going to have very much right now. And I don't want to use this drum that can hold 256 buckets to bring back like 4 buckets. So we're going to go ahead and make ourselves another nifty little thing. We're going to make ourselves a portable tank. The portable tank from a thermal expansion is just that. It's a portable tank. This one holds 8 buckets. We probably won't even have 8 buckets worth of nutrient distillate laying around, but since it's easy enough to make the second, well, Invar will hold that much more. Oh, well, actually, we can upgrade these as much as we need to. Now, do they have this set up where... Yes, the fused quartz is usable. Okay, good. So let's see. We're going to grab a piece of copper, some Invar, and some glass, and we should be able to go ahead and make this without any issues. Do we have any glass in here? Yeah, there's quite clear glass. Alright. Oh, wait, the Invar is in here too. And the copper. Alright. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, and we're not going to make the copper, the basic one, because that only holds 8 buckets. We're going to hold a little bit more than that. We're going to go ahead and make this one. This one is going to hold 32 buckets, and I know for a fact that we're not going to have that much over there. But since we're going to be making excess of it anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring it along. The precision sledgehammer, well, actually that should go in the equips section. But instead of that, I'm going to put it in here where I can keep my other stuff handy. Actually, I don't need any of this stuff in my hands at the moment. But now we're going to go over to the nether and see how things are doing with that and grab some nutrient distillation. So, see you there. Alright, we're here back in the nether, and I have placed this tank down here. We are getting some nutrient distillation, whatever. I went ahead and placed it here because it automatically hooks into the fluid pipe, and we have actually already gotten 16 buckets worth. That's actually really nice. It's cooking up rather quickly, which is always nice to see. Down to 61. How are we down to 61? How are we doing? Oh, wow, we got a couple things in here. Well, that's pretty cool. I'll have to see about sorting that at some point. Wait, why aren't these... Sure, whatever. All right, cool. And how's Killer Joe doing anyway? While we're doing this, having this all work up, and ooh. Oh, wow, okay, so that's full. And he has 71 levels stored in him. Awesome. That is greatness. All right, cool. And we are at 1,100 damage still, and that's doing great. Now, something's changed here. Empowered 2, power 150,000, 60% damage absorbed. Was it 60% before? I don't remember being 60% before. You know what? I'm gonna... Actually, let's just look this up. Let's see. Ender... Where is the Ender sword? Am I looking straight at it? Oh, no, it's on a different page. There we go. The Ender sword. There we go. Let's see. Empowered for 500,000, 95% damage absorbed by power. Now, that's interesting. Okay, so I can actually... I can upgrade this and actually have it be better. You know, 60% is pretty good, and we're already, well, never having to replace it, or having to replace it even less often. I'll probably do that off camera. I'll probably come back and upgrade this off camera. It's a double layer capacitor plus another 20 levels. I've got 65 levels on me from doing the blood altar stuff yesterday, so that shouldn't be a big deal at all. Now then, are we back up? No, we're down to 58 now. Okay, for some reason, why are we not getting... Let's see, items inserted here, priority level 2. Well, priority really doesn't matter, but because it's supposed to automatically go over there to begin with. Oh, hi, Mr. Bat. How you doing? You picked a bad place to spawn. Yeah, okay. So, that's kind of weird, but that's something we'll deal with later. For now, we just want my nutrient distillation. All right, so now that we have that with us, actually, let's go ahead and... How am I going to make it give it to this thing after it gives it to Killer Joe? Well, actually, you know, in the worst case scenario, it'll just run out. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Yeah, sure, that'll work. It'll go ahead and start getting its nutrient distillation. And in the worst case scenario, I can put up a secondary vat. It doesn't take that much to run these things. Up to 6 stacks there. We're already completely maxed out on bones. 9 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. That's awesome. All right, cool. So that's looking all well and good. And now we have a skeleton in the lava. Oh, since we updated the pack, we now have the nifty show range button. And it just so happens that the range on the attractor obelisk is exactly one short of being able to effectively attract everything. So some of these guys are not getting attracted correctly, but that's okay. I'll just have to deal with their being over there, so no big deal. All right, back to the overworld with my distillation. All right, so I'm making myself some more item conduits now that we're back here, because we're going to need it. The item conduits, along with the energy conduits, and a couple of barrels are going to be necessary here. And then, of course, we're going to have to choose what we're going to plant and all that. So we're going to try to get this all set up real quick. I need a shovel. Where's my shovel? Hello, shovel. Sit right there next to my pickaxe. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get this all wired in. All right, so let's see. We're going to dig through right here. Probably should have gone one deeper. Actually, I have to go one deeper. Actually, I have to go 2 deeper, technically speaking. And we're going to go ahead and dig underneath all this so that we can then put in the wiring and the piping and so on. All right. Oh, whoops. I knew that. All right, so now that we have that here, we're going to need, first off, energy running into the harvester. And we're also going to have items coming from the harvester. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're going to run this right along here. I think I got all that together. To there and to there. Okay, and we're going to swap this because we want it to insert items here. And then we're going to go ahead and run the power and items all the way back out this way. And I need it. It'd be good if I could actually get out, huh? Alright, cool. So now we should be able to run the power conduit right through here. Excellent. And the item conduit is going to continue this way. And we'll bring it up to right here. Yeah, that should work rather nicely. Alright, so let me fill some of this in real quick because we don't want excess space. That should be fine. And then this should be also fine. Alright, good. So now let's go ahead and get things powered up by putting our nutrient distillation. I can keep trying to say it right, and it never does. Alright, and we should be able to go ahead and configure this to pull from the top. Alright, now that we're pulling from the top, we are generating power. We are generating 80 RF per tick at 10 ticks per millibucket. Okay, so at 10 ticks per millibucket, let's see, 10 ticks per millibucket, 1,000 millibuckets per bucket, we are generating, doing math on camera, why do I do this to myself, 800,000? 800,000 RF per bucket? I think we're making 800,000 RF per bucket. Yeah, that's 800,000 RF per bucket. That's a lot. That's very nice. And we are fully powered here. And we should start to build up an excess here. Also, the zombie generator does not have a space for any kind of upgrades. 80 RF per tick is its maximum. 10 ticks per millibucket of generation is how this is going to continue to work. So it's probably filling the energy conduits because the energy conduits do have their own power in them. And once it fills all those up, yep, there we go. We are now generating power here. Excellent. All right, so I want to use this particular farm. Now we got to remember the orientation here. I want to use this farm both for harvesting, planting and harvesting plants, but I also want to plant and harvest trees. So that way we can have food and trees at the same time. So let's see, food, we're going to go with food. We're going to go with potatoes and carrots, and we're going to need some basic seeds. Do I really not have many seeds? Oh no, I've got stacks of seeds. They're just not right there. Excellent. Actually, let's just go ahead and grab those more. And we'll go ahead and get this configured. Alright, so on the red side, along this line, we're going to put saplings. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and put a stack of saplings here. We're going to turn consume stack off. By turning consume stack... You didn't do that right. You didn't do that right at all. Only on the red, blue, and purple side. Okay, well, that's okay. I'll configure this further in a minute. We're going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this stuff with just random junk that will never be able to be planted because we aren't worried about planting things in those areas. And we're going to go ahead and put potatoes here. We're going to go ahead and put carrots here. And we're going to go ahead and put seeds here. Okay, and now with the consume stack off, what that basically means is it will keep planting until it runs down to 1, but it will never use the last one. Okay, this really shouldn't have done this. It's really... This is supposed to have been planted with the other crops. That's why I tilled it. And now it's doing all seeds. That's not right either. Okay, I think we might have a problem with the planter. It seems to just plant everything one way. Interesting. Oh, Well, I guess that's not working either. All right. Well, not a big deal. We can still work this out the manual way. We've got seeds everywhere, so we're going to need 9 carrots, which I can actually use the ones that I have with me already, but that's not a big deal either. And we're going to need 9 potatoes. Okay, let's see if we can't. We might be. This might work, and this might not. I really want to plant multiple things, but well, let's see. All right, so green is potatoes. So the top right 9 are potatoes. So 1, 2, 3, potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Those are potatoes. Oh, wait a minute. Potatoes, carrots, wheat. Oh, okay, it worked. I'm just lost. It's okay. It's a constant state of mind. All right, so now, I guess my real question is, why aren't these planting with the trees? This should be fine. That's not supposed to be planted, though. Those are supposed to be... whatever. All right, so when the harvester harvests things, it tosses the stuff out the back. I thought, incorrectly apparently, that it would automatically take it through that way, but apparently it didn't, but that's okay. That didn't work either, so let's just disconnect that from there. And now, let's go sleep through the night real quick, and this should be finished and now fully functional. Let's just test this out real quick. Where's some bone meal? I want some bone meal. Bone meal should be in growing stuff. No bone meal. Okay, that's fine. I've got bones. Let's go ahead and put some bones. Oh, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got barrels for a reason. All right, so the items are going to go ahead and be brought up through here, and we're going to go ahead and place these barrels down. All right, now before I do that, I have 4 barrels. The thing is, I wanted to have more barrels because obviously we're going to have more than 4 things being brought out here. Okay, however, I didn't have enough wood to get more barrels. Why did that do that? Well, in any case, here we go. So now what we're going to have is we're going to have the items are going to be harvested, then they're going to be sent over here, and then they will automatically be, well, actually, no, they aren't, because this thing automatically defaults to export instead of import, so I'll have to fix that real quick. All right, but first things first. Let's put, that's going to be logs, and then that's going to be carrots, and then we're going to have saplings for, well, actually, no. No. Actually, it makes more sense to do it this way, doesn't it? Saplings, then carrots and potatoes will be next. Oh, along with extra seeds. Okay, so we're going to need a lot more barrels, but now that we actually have the ability to get more stuff, we should be able to do that rather easily. Let's swap this over to insert, 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 insert. Keep in mind that the harvester will not work unless it has somewhere to put the items that it's going to harvest, okay? In this case, okay, we are stuck on idle. It's not going to let me do this the way I want to, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to have a buffer chest. Sometimes you actually can't have the items being pulled directly out of the harvester itself. So you have to put a chest in and then have things automatically it will insert them into the chest at the back of it, but then we can add a item conduit that's going to then empty that for me. So put a chest there, and we should be able to extract, always active. And you can see stuff is coming in here and automatically getting extracted out. Now, I already don't have a place for apples, but as you can see, it's not pulling the apples anywhere because it has nowhere to put them as of yet. All right, so that's it for this episode. We have automated food. We have automated farming. Next episode, I'm going to see what we can't do about getting things to grow faster, for starters. And as a secondary, of course, in between episodes, I'm going to put up some more barrels to hold some more things. So how is this thing doing? We had 15 buckets. No, how many buckets do we have? We have 18 buckets in here. Whatever the case is, we're doing really well on power. So, awesome. Let this run for just a little bit, put some more barrels on it, and we'll be back next episode to speed things up a little bit. So until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 20 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what I get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!